This is my fully loaded spring focaccia. Focaccia is a great entry-level bread recipe, and when you get it right, the results are sensational. In my spring-inspired recipe, I'm using foraged wild garlic, fresh herbs and flowers from the garden. The combination of the crisp, caramelized crust, fluffy olive oil infused dough with these spring toppings results in a delicious spring celebration. Alright, so first up we need to make a really moist, super hydrated bread dough. A really simple bread dough actually. And this is going to help create a light, airy, bubbly focaccia. And to make it, all I need is 5 ingredients. And that is strong white bread flour into my mixing bowl. We'll add a pinch of salt and a few teaspoons of sugar as well, just to help that yeast kickstart. I'm going to give that a good mix up, make a well in the flour mix, and then pour in some extra virgin olive oil and then some warm water that I've just mixed some fast active dried yeast into until it's dissolved, and then we'll mix all that together. As you can see, I wasn't joking when I said I really want a moist, hydrated dough. It's so moist that it's impossible to knead by hand. So you just stir this together until there's no lumps. And then I transfer this to a lightly oiled bowl and we let it rise for at least an hour or two. Here's one I made earlier. So I actually had some recycled cling film left over from an event. I don't try to avoid using cling film, but it's actually really good for proving because it locks in that humidity, but you can just use a kitchen towel like I did with that other batch. But look how much this is risen, it's crazy. But it's gonna be hard now, it's risen so much, it's gonna be difficult for me to get this cling film off. So maybe it's not a good idea to use it. Look at that, look at those air pockets, it's unbelievable. It's risen up so much. Oh, it smells tangy. All right, so I'm actually cooking mine in a cast iron pan. I'm just gonna rub a little bit of oil into it, and then we'll turn our dough into the pan and just spread it into the corners. It feels a little bit counterproductive to actually push out some of that air that we've just invested time creating, but trust me, it's worth it in the long run. Like when I made the raviolis recently, this feels like there's something very romantic when it comes to making bread. You've got to get your hands involved, you have to show it love, you have to invest time, and that's the best recipes for me. And this feels so good actually getting my fingers in here. Is that really weird thing to say? Yeah, it kind of is, but it is what it is. The next step now is to get a damp cloth over the top of this now, and I'm going to only let it rise for about half an hour. And during that time, I'm going to gather some herbs from the garden. I also went out and picked some more wild garlic in my favourite foraging place, and I got some of the wild garlic flowers, so I'll dry those off because I soaked them this morning. That's going to be my toppings, and I can't wait to press them into this risen dough. All right, so my spring garden's still kicking into life slowly. I've got a few things coming up like onions and kale in the bed over there, and most of my seedlings are in the greenhouse. But there is a few herbs dotted around that I'm going to pick for our spring focaccia. Sage is looking lovely, so I'm going to get some sage. Also, I just spotted a load of dandelions, so I think a couple of yellow dandelion flowers, the petals on top will look beautiful, and some mint. Plus there's some nasturtium coming up by there. I think those 3 or 4 will be really nice on top. Oh, that is looking very spring. I think a little bit of time and I'm done. All right, so I got my herbs and my wild garlic, and I've also got some in-season asparagus and some spring onions. I'm gonna split both down the middle so then they don't have too much of a bite once they're baked. All right, let's see how our dough's getting on. Ooh, yes, lovely. All right, so the oven's going on. This is the exciting bit. I'm gonna get some more olive oil over the top of my focaccia dough and just get my hands in there, and hopefully we create a load of bubbles. And then it's time to decorate with my beautiful herbs and my spring veg. This feels too good. Oh, it's so bubbly. I can literally see bubbles. That is what you want. So what I'm actually trying to do is submerge my wild garlic leaves into the dough, get them sucked inside it, just so that's running right through the dough once it's cooking. This is so much fun. Feel free to get creative with your toppings. Obviously, maybe you could do a summer one or a winter one. Get the flowers involved too. Oh, this is exciting. It looks like a woodland or a spring feast just already. This is looking so beautiful. Spring in a pan. This is basically ready. I think just a nice pinch of rock salt over the top, just to season it up. Ah, this is looking amazing. Now it's time for it to go in the oven. I'm hoping that that beautiful dough sort of rises up and sucks all those spring flavors inside it. Let's get it in the oven, 210 degrees Celsius for around about 35 minutes, I think. Oh, I think we are ready. Let's get it out. Oh my word! Okay, this looks incredible. Oh, I'm so sad I have to wait a few minutes for this to cool down. Oh, it's so crisp and crunchy. All those herbs are crisping up too. But I guess me and Tom, whilst we're waiting to eat our lovely focaccia, can have a sip of tea and a little think before we enjoy it. Oh, it's thick and bubbly, and it didn't stick, thankfully. Do you know what? I'm just gonna dive right in, take a massive slice of this. Oh, look at that fluffiness. It's got a beautiful crust along the bottom and on top, and some lovely air pockets within inside it. It smells so good. Let me give this a taste. I think it's important just to sometimes take it all in. I think we eat food so fast so often. So let me just savor this moment. That topping is so impressive. All right, here it goes. Oh, that is delicious. That topping is just the best. This focaccia is a very simple entry-level sort of bread recipe. It doesn't involve too much kneading. But But what I will do in the future is definitely show you a sourdough version of this that takes a little bit more effort, but the results are, you know, a different level. But this, just for a simple, quick bread recipe, topped with amazing forage and homegrown ingredients that are in season, is perfect for you to try at home. Please do it. Let's just get a bit of that corner crust. That's what it's all about, right? The crust.